Welcome to another episode of Data Science Live. This is the fourth out of the 5 episodes that I'm planning to do on learning Python with CODEX. Now, my name is Mr. Campanell, and I'm here to kind of give you some basic examples of how we use artificial general intelligence, CODEX, to generate Python code. And today's simple example is something that's really basic to data science, and that is joining data frames. In data science, you're going to have lots and lots of data frames that you're going to have to transform, manipulate, and join them together, put stuff in, take stuff out, that kind of thing. So today, it's just going to be a basic example. I'm going to be writing instructions in CODEX. It's going to generate Python code for me. I'm going to throw it into a Jupyter notebook, and we're going to see how it does. So let's go get started here. What do you say? Now, I have something a little bit different today. If you've seen some of the other episodes, I would do some of these examples within RStudio. But today I'm using a Jupyter notebook, mostly because it's all going to be Python today, and this notebook works really well with Python. So that's how we're going to go. So on the right-hand side, I have my OpenAI playground, and I have it all set up, and I've got 2 commands here that are going to read in 2 different data files. I'm using the OECD fertility data set that I've used in some of the past episodes, and the first 2 lines here are just to kind of read in these 2 files. And I already have it typed in right now. It's to read this CSV file that I have it directed on my downloads file. And then I'm going to name the data frame OECD 70 for the 1970 data, fertility rate data. And then I'm going to have another one for the fertility data for the year 2000. So I'm going to come down here. I'm going to hit my generate button, and hopefully I should be expecting some code here. Okay, so that's good. The only thing that it didn't generate was the import to pandas, but I'm going to come over here and just type that in as import, right? Import pandas as, as PD, okay? And then I'm going to copy and paste my code here. And then I'm going to copy and paste this one here. And I'm going to hit the run button over here on this. And it ran. And let's just take a look at it. Let's just take a look at one of them. 1970. I'm having keyboard issues today. And that's not mechanically with the board itself, but mechanically with my fingers. Control Enter. And so here we have our data frame. We've got 39 records, and country and fertility rate 1970 is in the data frame. So I'm just going to, okay. All right, so I'm just going to pick that one, and I'm going to go back over here onto the OpenAI CODEX playground, and I'm going to come down here, I'm just going to get rid of this code here. And then I'm going to say, I'm going to just, because we have two different data frames, I want to count the number of records in each frame. So I'm going to say, show me the record count of data frame OECD 1970 and OECD 2000. And I'm going to, let me just go here. Yeah, I think I should generate this text again. Oh, well, okay, so I don't have enough, what does, oops, cancel. Let's close that one. Let's go to my settings. Length here. So I don't have the length. I'm going to increase the length here to, I'm just going to say, I got it 122. Let's go to 198. Okay, got that. Okay, all right, and close this down. Let's try this again. Okay, so I've got these two statements here: print length OECD 1970, print length of OECD 2000. So what I'm going to do here, maybe I'll just, what do I want to do with this cell? Let's, current outputs, let's just put a cell above, insert cell above, and I'm going to copy these and put these in here, and I'm going to run this cell. Okay, so what we've got here is OECD 1970 has 39 records, and OECD 2000 has 42. So we're going to be joining this data by country, and so we've got uneven data sets. So we've got to be able to handle that when we join these. So let me just come down here and clear this out of CODEX, and let me add another line in here. I just want to, let's see, join data frames OECD 1970 and OECD 2000 by country. Okay, let's generate our code again. Maybe, let me just get rid of this right here. And let's go. Let's go, CODEX. Okay, so it's going to regenerate everything that I've done. And then I should have a join. Oh, I ran out of I ran out of tokens again. All right, so I got to keep increasing these each time I add a new statement. So I'm going to increase this to 225. Okay, and one thing I want to point out here, so there's 304 tokens in the prompt. So this is going to cost me 3 cents to run this. Okay, so as you keep increasing the tokens, you're going to keep increasing your cost on CODEX. And CODEX is definitely not a cheap application. Let's try this again. Right? Each time you're running it, you're taking money out of your pocket. Okay, great. I got my code here. So I've got my merge code, and it's on by country. So let's insert another cell here, and we'll insert a cell below. And I'm going to just copy and paste this. And let's run this code. Oh, I got an error. And yeah, okay. My error is, the one thing about CODEX is it will write the code for you, but in this case, it doesn't understand the data that I'm using. If we go down here, you'll see country here is in lowercase, and the code, how it wrote country, was in a mixed case. So I'm just going to come in here, make this lowercase, and shift. Okay, so we got the, it looks like it ran it okay. I'm just going to come in here, and it named it OECD. And you can see that we have joined both data frames. You can see that fertility 70 and fertility 2000 are now into the data frame. There are 39 records in this data frame. And so that worked pretty good. But like I said, we have some uneven records. And it looks like, we've got 3 records that are in OECD 2000 that are not in this data frame. So we want to find out what countries those are. So I'm going to go back here, and let me clean this out. Clean out all this here. I'm going to go in here. I'm going to change my token length. I'm going to increase this now to, let's do 200 and 260. Let's do 260. Okay, and now I'm going to say, what am I going to say? I'm going to say make a data frame with records in OECD 2000, but not in OECD 1970, and name it X OECD 2000. Okay, and what I want to do is just see the records that were in 2000 but not in OECD 1970. So we're going to hit the generate button again and watch it continue to do its magic, writing the codes, doing everything that like it did before, been consistent. Nope, we ran out of tokens. Gosh. Okay, let's give that another try. Come back in here. Go 290. And generate again. Okay, as you can see, this is kind of an iterative process, but boy, oh boy, it really helps me write Python code, which I think is better than going in looking up manuals, since I'm not as strong in Python as I am in R. And then also searching Stack Overflow or any other search that you want to put into a search engine. So I've got some code here. Again, let's see. All right, so this is my code. We're calling it XOECD 2020. I'm going to insert a cell below and paste that in here. Now, again, remember, country is in lowercase, so I'm going to just change this code here, change this all to lowercase, and hit run on this. Okay, and then I'm just going to paste this, throw it in here, and see what the code looks like. Okay, so 3 countries, Estonia, Israel, and Brazil, that were not in the 1970 data set. I've got another data frame to identify which one of those, and you're going to have to find a way to handle it as you keep moving through your analysis. So I think that's about all that I have for today, and I'd like to thank you again for watching this episode of Data Science Live. Really appreciate you kind of tuning in and checking it out. I hope you learned something. I hope you get excited about CODEX. I know I certainly am. I think that this artificial general intelligence is just a new way forward to coding and development of any kind, not just data science. And I think for the next episode, I'm going to try to kind of wrap some of everything together, try to tie it all back in. It'll be kind of the last episode where we're going to be doing Python with CODEX. So until then, goodbye for now, dear friends.